Hey everybody, Putty Katia here, and I'm back playing through my Steam library, starting with the worst games first. The first game on this week's list is one I recently obtained, and it has a 0 Wilson score on SteamDB. So I'm going to have to go back and play that, and then pick up on the list where we left off with games that are roughly 5 and 6% Wilson scores. So without further delay, let's get to the games.
Rock the Tree Hugger. In this game, you play a rock and you run over trees. You don't hug them. Different trees do different things. The yellow ones give you 5 points, green ones give you 1 point, red ones speed you up, blue ones slow you down, purple ones make you big, and orange ones make you small. Each level you have to run over a certain number of green and yellow trees, as well as these people things, which I found kind of creepy. Especially the one in the UI that's kind of waddling back and forth. They come in different colors, so it's nice that they don't discriminate. You can run over all sorts of different colors of people, and they all leave a little pile of blood stuff after you do that. If you get squished by this encroaching orange sherbet stuff, I don't know what it's supposed to be, but I just think it's sherbet coming to get you. If you get squished by that, you gotta basically just restart the level, which isn't that bad. This is the entire game, but it is sped up 3 times. I do defeat all 15 levels within about a 6-minute span. I did play it multiple times though, so this is my skill right here that I built up over time. I still did have to do a couple levels over again, but it wasn't too bad. I was really hopeful when I started playing this. I was hoping it was kind of going to be in the vein of Katamari, and it kind of is, because you roll around and you do stuff, but it ain't no Katamari, so I'm gonna say this is not a very good game, obviously. I feel like if it had more than 10 minutes of gameplay and maybe some features, they could have made something decent though. Next game is Burning Cars. Now from this screen I thought it looked like a little kid game, so when I was presented with easy or hard, I selected hard. Then I got into the game and I realized it's a fixed perspective racing game, which really does a number on my brain as far as steering my little vehicle. And if that wasn't so bad, the vehicle does not steer or handle very well, and there's all this crap on the racetrack, so you gotta deal with that, which ain't too fun. Now, with a name like Burning Cars, you would expect that there's gonna be a bit of destruction going on, and in fact, there's a store where you can buy guns and such, so I kitted my car out and I went to shoot some stuff. But it turns out each shot you fire on your little inaccurate gun uses up 1 of 4 of the ammunition things you have, and as you can see here, the purple car just got kerploded, and he's almost instantly back on his merry way. Very unsatisfying. So, losing races doesn't make you money very fast. I ended up selling off my guns and trading them in for this little buggy car, which I thought wasn't going to handle very well, but it turns out it handled like a dream compared to that Hummer type thing, and it was super duper fast. So, I started winning races. If this game was actually meant for kids, I can only imagine how frustrated they would be, since it took me over 50 minutes just to feel like I was actually getting anywhere with it. And the destruction and the fire, it's not worth it, given that you just kind of instantly respawn after you get kerploded. So I wasn't able to find any positive qualities in this game besides the buggy, which ain't that much. On to our next game, which is Countless Rooms of Death, a dungeon crawler with this flashlighty horror feel to it, which just kind of made me motion sick, honestly. Some of the rooms have some really easy puzzles in them, like this one, with a 3-card Monty type thing, where you pick the box that had the ball in it, and then it does it again, it puts the ball in the new box and swirls them around, and you keep finding the ball until eventually you get your key. Other rooms have stuff in them that will kill you. Some of the rooms just seem like they randomly killed you, so I avoided going in them. And then others had ways of dying that were avoidable, like this one, where you see this little pattern on the wall, and then you go in this room, and there's these tiles, and you use that pattern to go through the room and not die. It tries to be creepy in some places, putting like screams and creepy stuff. I don't know what this is supposed to be. But there's these random dockets that you can read with some crap on it. Boobs. This is a very Skyrim-y looking puzzle. If you've ever played Skyrim, you're probably familiar with this type of thing. There was a generator in a previous room that had the symbols that you needed to solve this, so... Oh, that was scary! Oh my gosh! So eventually I got to the next level, and I had to spin these valve thingies. I was thinking I had to do them in a certain order because they would light up these little lights, these green lights, and sometimes there'd be a red one. I thought I was doing it in the wrong order. Turns out you just avoid the red one and light up as many of the green ones as there were, and go to the next level, which, for some really strange reason, has a tree on the ceiling. On to our next game, which is Dimensity, where you play this dude, Imar, I think his name was, and you start out with like this full set of gear and kicking these furbolgs' butts, and it's real hard to figure out what you're clicking on, and you just gotta run away sometimes because you're low health, but luckily the dudes don't follow you for long. You get some skills, some points to spend. Eventually you and the king are like kicking some butt, but then you get captured, and it's not good. And the king's like, oh no, we gotta fight. And you're like, okay, but I'm naked. And even though you're naked and he's fully clothed, he gets killed. And he tells you you gotta take this thing to his woman. He's like, alright, I'll do it for you, brah. I'm still naked, though. This is inconvenient. Oh, there's these chests. Okay, so you pick up the chest. You think it's gonna be all your cool guy gear from before, but no, you're still mostly naked. You got some boots and some gloves and your sword. But it's enough to kinda kick some butt. This game actually seems like it has some cool features that I wasn't able to ever get to, because I got confronted with this dude in the middle of the road who Ayamar, for some reason, thinks can answer all his questions about the amulet that the king said to take to the queen. I don't know why he thinks that he needs to do all these errands for this guy. He should just go to the queen, take the amulet. But no, you get to do this almost impossible cave thing. I mean, it might be possible, but I wasn't able to do it. Kick-Ass 2, based on the movie. This game costs $19.99, and you can tell that that is well spent based on the use of Comic Sans and inability to put words in the speech bubble. Every few minutes you get stopped on your cell phone to get some plot, and then you get to do some beaten ups.
Fucking bastards! I'm just a kid!
I hope you like that line, because you're going to be hearing it a lot if you play this game, along with a lot of other offensive type things, including racial slurs and just a lot of F-bombs. Growing up, I played a lot of beat-em-ups like Ripper City Ransom, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Arcade, and they were fun. But this isn't fun. You just kind of wail on your mouse buttons until someone gets a little image above their head, and then you know you can finish them off with some kind of predetermined move per model. The fighting system isn't that great, and the camera doesn't help very much because you're constantly having to manually adjust it just to stay within the frame. The best way I found to deal with these fights is just to go around them. Most of the plot dialogue has subtitles, and I think you'll find out why here.
Goths on a basketball court. Perfect. Tell me if you see Spike Lee attending a meeting of the Ku Klux Klan.
I'm serious! And they're attacking a masked hero! I've got to go help him.
Who the hell do you think you are? A parkour expert? If you jump from that height, you'll break both your legs.
Oh, of course. You guys like to use your mama's makeup and sew suits out of fucking trash bags.
Unfortunately, the mispronunciation of those words was probably the most entertainment I had during this game. Besides this part, where I decide I'm gonna fight these guys through the fence, which ended up being very amusing. This is an apparent puzzle where you short out this electrical box. You gotta hit the button when the thingy's in the red thingy, and then you did it. So eventually I ran around enough of the bad guys to get to the boss of level 1, and that seems like that's enough of that.
So that's it for this week's games. If I actually intend on playing through my entire Steam library, I'm either going to have to stop buying all these super cheap bundles or start playing through them a lot faster. It's really hard not to buy these bundles because as an avid Pokemon fan, I feel like I need to fill up my Pokedex, which currently is my Steam library, but maybe the solution is just to play through the games faster. So if you want to see the previous episode, click here, and if you want to see the next episode when I eventually upload it, click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you around.